Alright, much Abrew time. Playing some red-black vampires in Modern. This hand's alright. The curve is fine. It'll depend on what our opponent's up to. Well, Bloodstained Mire, crack it. Blood Crypt, untapped, and Gorger. Pass the turn. Blooming Marsh for our opponent. Kills our Gorger. Yep. Alright, so let's call the Bloodline, I guess. Pass the turn. Little awkward. If we draw a land, we can, like, Gorger, discard Bloodghast, get a 1/1, madness it, something like that. If we don't draw a land, things are a little sketchier. Godless Shrine for our opponent, untapped. And Bitter Blossom. Interesting. Well, there's a land, so Blood Crypt, untapped. Play... Oh, this doesn't even work because this costs mana. Yikes. That was wrong. That was very wrong. Let's just play Captain. Pass the turn. Yeah, what we should have done there, I was forgetting Call of Bloodline is even worse than I remembered. You actually have to pay a mana and discard a card. There's a Tarmogoyf. And this Bitter Blossom is going to really lock down our Gatekeeper. So let's discard a card, Bloodghast, make a 1/1. Play the Swamp, get back our Bloodghast. It only kills a fairy. That's not even very good. Let's just play Falkenrath Gorger and pass the turn. Bitter Blossom taken up. Yeah, Bitter Blossom is a natural counter to our Gatekeeper. Noble Hierarch. Opponent gets in 4/2 with the flyer. Yep. Can't do anything about it. Passes. Well, let's see if this works. Discard Gatekeeper. Okay, we can madness it, or kicker it. That's good. Kicker our Gatekeeper. Kill, nothing of consequence. Just a token. And pass turn. I mean, we're making a big board, but until we draw a Fatal Push, and we only have 2 in our deck for some reason, that makes it a little worse. That's one of the problems with this deck, is it just does not have much removal. Bitter Blossom, taken up for our opponent. Really think it needs more removal. You need the full set of Fatal Push, and maybe some bolts, or some combination. Maybe it's full set of bolts and less Fatal Pushes, but it's just too easy to get locked by a Tarmogoyf in this deck. Opponent gets in for 3 with the flyer. Because this is like a pretty reasonable value hand. I mean, call the Bloodline, whatever. Like, and our opponent just plays a Goyf, and it's like, oh, you can't win. That was pretty simple. Well, let's discard this. Madness it. I mean, we're doing things, but our things just don't beat a Tarmogoyf. We only have 2 Smuggler's Copters, which would at least give us a flyer. Olivia's Bloodsword is very questionable. I guess we just pass the turn. I don't know what else we can do. I guess our hope is we draw one of our 2 Nocturnuses and are able to give everything flying. Sorin Solemn Visitor. Yikes. Yup, now we're taking 4 in the air and our opponent's gaining a bunch of life. Yep. Well, we're seeing some of the issues with this deck. Alright, opponent gets in for 4. I feel like we don't have anything we can draw that is relevant to what's happening here. Silent Visitor is not relevant. Alright. Yep. Ooh. Yep. So this deck, the idea is cool, but we can bring in the Fatal Pushes from the sideboard. Go down, Insolent Neonates, I guess. I don't even know. I guess they have Menace, but that's not very good. Gatekeeper gets kind of just hard-locked by Tarmogoyf. Liliana, our opponent is playing Sorin, so it must be a kind of token theme. These Bloodsworns are just... That's not a modern playable card. No matter how sweet it seems, it's just... You can't do it. Can't do it. Not possible. Alright, we get to play first. I think our best bet of winning is to get a really aggressive start. And this isn't horrible. Turn 1 Neonate. Call another world Insolent Neonate. Combo. Can't get it back. Only black creatures. Well, Mountain and Neonate. Pass the turn. Vern Catacombs. Corrects it. There's a Noble Hierarch. Alright. This might be wrong, but we're going to Copter here. Both the birds, as the old saying goes, but we're not going to Fatal Push the Hierarch. We're going to get Copter down, because Copter seems like one of our better cards. It's a risky line, I will be the first to admit. Anavenza, the Foremost. Yikes. We could use a fetch land to kill that. I guess we can sack Neonate to kill it, so that works. That's a regular land. So let's crew up our Copter. Go attacking. Loot. Discard Nocturnus. Get in for 3. Oh no! Punt City. It gets exiled. That does not work. Yep. Okay. Anafenza does things. Actually pretty good against our deck. Treetop Village. Yeah, what we wanted to do there was, if we had read Anafenza, was to discard Nocturnus, then we were going to sack Neonate. Asylum Visitor. Okay, so crew up our Copter. Play a Swamp. Attack with both. Loot. Discard Asylum Visitor. Madness Asylum Visitor. Get in for 5. And I think we just pass. So we can sack our Neonate if we need to. Actually, right now, Asylum Visitor is holding back Anafenza. Ooh, Township. Well, that might force our opponent to activate Township, and then I think we win. If they do that. Or very close to it, because they'd have to tap Hierarch. At very least, they couldn't attack. Yep. Activates Township. This has got to be no attacks. Whoa! Okay. So our opponent gets in for a bunch. They're just going aggro. Well, it looks like we're going to win despite our punt. Down to 9. Opponent passes. Blood Crypt. Not what we were looking for. Well, crew up our Copter with Neonate. Sack Neonate. Discard Call to Another World. Nothing to Madness it for. I guess we didn't even have to do that. Because it's the fairy we're killing. But this represents lethal. Alright, opponent's going to get a peek at our deck on the way out. Which is fine. They brought in a lot of graveyard hate. Anafenza, at least 2 surgical extractions. Well, that went much better. You can see the difference with 4 fatal pushes. I think that this deck could be reasonable. I think it could be pretty good, but I think this build of the deck has some issues. But that's why you play these decks, to find the weaknesses and improve them. But I actually think you could make a fairly competitive red-black vampire deck for Modern. I think it's possible. Oh boy. Well, come on, no graveyard hate. We got the double Bloodghast hand, and the Captain, that we can't really use yet, but Blooming Marsh for our opponent. And passes. Well, let's just Swamp and Relic. Keep the graveyard under control, hopefully. See what we draw. We might actually play Call the Bloodline, as odd as that sounds. But discarding Bloodghast seems like a big deal. Another Relic. Yeah, let's play Call the Bloodline. Pass the turn. Hopefully we draw into lands and we can start discarding Bloodghast and getting them back, along with vampires. We're fixing our opponent's mana for them, unfortunately. Lingering Souls. Well, good thing we have this Relic. Minimizes the damage. Land? Lacerator. Well, play Lacerator. And I guess we just gotta pass. I think we gotta discard a Bloodghast and hope we draw land next turn. Ghost Quarter for our opponent. If they have something big here, alright, just a Noble Hierarch. That's not too big. Our Urborg is really helping our opponent. They'd be having a lot of mana troubles if it wasn't for that. Kills our Lacerator. Down to 3 cards in hand. Gets in for 2. Yep. Well, let's discard a Bloodghast. We do need to draw lands. Exile a card. Get in with our Vampire. We don't have any removal. So we're going to start pumping with Township, and that's really bad. Play Lacerator. Yeah, we needed to draw another land here, I think. And we can't really crack the Relic, because then we exile our Bloodghast. I think we just died a Township, honestly. Nile Spellbomb. Well, I guess that's going to make it so we can crack our Relic, because we're going to exile our graveyard anyway. And that also means they're not... It means they're not pumping with Township, I think, which is good. Or they at least need to hit a land to do that. So there goes our Bloodghast. Alright, they're going to pay for Spellbomb to draw. So definitely not activating Township this turn. So that is a bit of good news. Temple Garden. Tapped. I think we got to crack our Relic here. Opponent gets in for 2. We just really need to find lands. So, crack Relic, not a land. Lose a life, not good. There's a swamp. This is still awkward. Well, let's discard Bloodghast, make a Vampire, play the swamp, get back our Bloodghast, do some attacking, and then I think we're just going to play the Relic and pass the turn. Now we need red mana, is next on our list. We'll see, we might just discard this Gatekeeper to make another lifelink vampire. And the next turn we can discard in Madness Asylum Visitor if we don't draw land. Opponent cracks Catacombs. Plays a Tasigur. Okay. Well, at least they're just not aggressively townshipping. That's the easiest way I see us losing. Gets in for 2. Yep. Alright, let's crack this. We gotta draw swamps. Lose a life. Ugh. Well, kick a Gatekeeper. We're not getting rid of much, but it's something. Play a swamp. Pass the turn. Want to have a path? Paths are Bloodghast. Well, we get red mana finally. That does let us play our Lord next turn, which is good. Sooner or later, our opponent's just going to start townshipping, though, and then things get sketchy. They could also draw, like, another Lingering Souls, and then the game just pretty much ends. Activates Tasigur. I guess our opponent just gets another path. Not sure about these lines. Our opponent very much may have killed us by now if they just townshipped. Thinks about attacking. Gets in for 2 with the Spirit. Yep. Down to 12. We lose more life. Down to 11. There's a land. Well, let's kick a Gatekeeper. Hit our opponent. Opponent gives up on Hierarch. Well, we play Polluted Delta. And Pestered. Have not drawn any Fatal Pushes. What's our opponent pathing? Just a Gatekeeper. Alright, we get a Swamp. Overgrown Tomb for our opponent. Untapped. Is this finally Township? Activates Tasigur. Opponent can have Noble Hierarch. Not super relevant. Plays the Hierarch. Still not activating Township for some reason. Which is good. We're still living because they're not doing that. Gets in with the Spirit. Yep. Down to 9. Well, let's discard Asylum Visitor. Madness Asylum Visitor. Can tap our fetch thanks to Urborg. Lacerator hits us to 8. Well, let's play Stormkirk Captain. Still can't really attack, so just pass the turn. We really need removal. Opponent has a land. There's the township. Okay. That's fine. We are probably going to have to start suiciding our Vampire Knights in just to gain life. No attacks. Well, let's discard this Bloodstained Mire. That gets us empty-handed. We lose life. Lose life, draw a card. That's a little better. Not land. Not land. Double land. Alright, we gotta get in with a vampire. Just to gain some life. Opponent blocks, kills it. We go back up to 8, though. Discard a card. Make a vampire, pass the turn. Call the Bloodline has actually been pretty good at the moment. Land for our opponent. Activates Tasigur. Gets back a Tarmogoyf. We can't really give him Hierarch because that speeds up the spirit clock. Just killing this spirit would be pretty nice. And there's the Goyf. Opponent passes. Well, let's discard our Polluted Delta. Get a vampire. Get to lose life. Hooray. Draw a card, though. Extra card. Lacerator's been pretty bad for us. There's a Fatal Push and a Call the Bloodline. Well, let's discard Call the Bloodline and pass the turn. So, do we gotta attack with one? I don't think so. Let's pass. I think what we're trying to set up is a time where our opponent gets a little too greedy, goes on the attack. They found a path. Okay. We get a swamp. Well, that makes it a lot harder now that all of our stuff is smaller. We could also draw into something eventually. Township activation for our opponent. Goes to combat. Goyf attacks. Well, that makes it easy. Let's just chump with this Lacerator. That's kind of making us lose too much life. And we do have to cast our Fatal Push here. So I think we just kill the Spirit, since we can't really block flyers easily. Draw an extra card. Ooh, Captain's good. Well, play the Captain. Pass the turn. Oh, this game is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Opponent can have Noble Hierarch again. Inquisition. Well, that means we just discard this now. I think making another lifelinker is better than playing this Heir of Falconwrath. Hierarch. But only has one card in hand. And they're out of flyers. And because we have all these first strikers, they can't really attack us. Like, we just throw all of our stuff. I mean, if they can kill our Stormkirk Captain, we'd get super blown out. But opponent passes. We draw an extra card. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my god. Well, come on, black card on top of our deck. That would just win us this game. Oh, it's a land! It's a land! It's a land! Well, let's get in with one vampire to gain some life. Oh man, if we can get a black card on top of our deck and this Nocturnus doesn't die, we're gonna just win. We're gonna win with Nocturnus. I can't believe... Oh no, is this removal? What is it? Lingering Souls. Oh, that makes winning harder. That gives a lot of chump blockers. Still though, I think black card does it if our opponent doesn't have removal. And we can kind of loot for a black card? Are we gonna actually win here? Township, sure. Okay, that's fine. I guess I should have... Oh man, I'm going to get yelled at. I should have cracked Polluted Delta in search of a black card. But now we're just going to draw Blood Crypt. Draw Bloodstained Mire. There's a black card. Does this mean we win? We can discard a card. Blood Crypt. Gets us a vampire. Use the vampire to crew up our Smuggler's Copter. And we just swing with everything. This should do it. We're not going to loot, because we want a black card on top. Oh! Nocturnus! What's the last card in our opponent's hand? Hopefully it's not like a path or something. That would blow us out. Yes! Ooh, we took it down. Wow! All right, Vampire Nocturne is good at stealing games. Whoo! We will take it. Thanks for watching the video. If you're subscribed, make sure to hit that bell icon to get notifications for all the latest videos. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you can find the next video right here.